Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm sharing the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Vicki Ibaugh is speaking on Overcoming Overwhelm, how to do less and achieve more. And Vicki, I got to tell you, I'm so excited about this topic. I can't wait to hear the magic you're going to bring for us today. Vicki is the founder of Know You to Grow You Business Coaching and a certified Kolbe consultant. Her favorite commodity is time, and she's committed to showing women entrepreneurs how to achieve more success in less time and with less stress so they can enjoy their life and business more. You can find Vicki's website, knowyoutogrowyou.com, in the text of this video, as well as the link to the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Vicki, thank you for doing this for us today, and you are on.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And I have to say, I love this community as one of the things that I choose to invest my time in month after month because I get such value from this. And I hope all of you get value from our conversation today. So I am a visual learner, and therefore I always use a slide deck. And so today we're going to talk about overcoming overwhelm. It is the number one thing that people come to me with when we're doing business coaching, that they just have so much on their plate and it feels overwhelming and they don't know where to start, and they're just lost in the sea of all the things they can do. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to give you some strategies on how to overcome the overwhelm. And they are in different categories, so that you can pick and choose what works for you, because my job is not to give you more to do and to cause overwhelm. It's to give you strategies that allow you to actually do less things and have more time. So let's start with some of the causes of overwhelm. So several people a little bit ago were saying that one of their strategies for overcoming is to take a nap. Well, one of the reasons why we become overwhelmed is because our energy is depleted. And we are women who often do too many things. And so our energy does need replenished. And so when we are depleted, we are much more likely to become overwhelmed. The other thing is when we have too many things to do, when we have too many choices and options and things and decisions, we can easily become overwhelmed. And, you know, there's this little thing that we like to do as women. We like to say yes to things. Sometimes when we really mean to say no. And so we say yes to a lot of things, not even realizing we've said yes sometimes. And so we sometimes get a little overcommitted and we overfill our schedule. Anybody else like do that on occasion? And so that can lead to some overwhelm. In fact, I looked back at my Facebooks. I love Facebook memories. And what I noticed was, if I look back 10 plus years ago, the common theme was, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. I was busy a lot. And years ago, somebody taught me that busy is an acronym for because you said yes. And so a lot of times when I look at my overwhelm, yes, there are things that are like commitments, like caring for my child, or, you know, doing certain things like doing my taxes. But some of the things that are on there causing my overwhelm and my busy are simply because I chose to say yes. And so there's power in that, because we can start to say no to some of those things. We can start to cut them out or just think about them differently. And so today we're going to look at like what happens when we feel overwhelmed. And when our brain feels overwhelmed, it really is like, stop. Just stop. And you maybe, several people earlier said like they go to sleep, they take a nap or they sleep on it. That's one of the strategies that comes up. I have a couple people in my life who, when they're overwhelmed, they clean. I would like to invite them to my house when they're overwhelmed, because I could use some of that energy in my house. But many of us, think about it, you get overwhelmed and what do? You go to social media. You start the scroll because you're avoiding or procrastinating, or you do the Netflix binge. And I'm not saying any of these are unhelpful or unhealthy, because sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed, we really do need the break. But there are some other strategies that might work faster, better, easier, and allow you to be productive. So we're going to talk about some mindset strategies, some replenishment strategies, some pruning strategies, and then I have a bonus for when overall you're not feeling overwhelmed, but you have a project that is bringing up some overwhelm. So it's kind of an isolated thing. So that's kind of our roadmap of what we're going to do. And I am going to be going through this fairly quickly because we don't have a ton of time together. However, I have compiled all of this into a how-to guide that I'll give you the link to. So don't feel like you need to take tons of notes and feel overwhelmed. Know that this has all been captured for you, and I'll give you a link to that at the end of our time here. So let's start with what happens when our brain, from the mindset point, keeps hearing, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed. The reticular activating system, which we all have, starts looking for evidence of that to reinforce that you're so busy and you're so overwhelmed. And then it becomes this cycle. And then we're just like more overwhelmed and feel more busy. And so this is where the mindset stuff comes in, because when we can change our thoughts, we can change what our brain is matching up. And so one of the strategies that I love from one of my mentors, Dana Wilde, she always taught us, like, the problem is not the problem. The problem is you keep thinking about and talking about the problem. Like, you need to think different thoughts. And so we need a pattern interrupt. And because your brain has been like in this cycle of pinballing, like, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I feel so overwhelmed, we have to flood it with thoughts that are the opposite. And we sometimes have to start with ones that are only a little bit true so that our brain believes it. And so I like to call this a rapid reframe. My mentor calls it a positive rant. And what it is you just start thinking different thoughts. You just start going, you know what? I am going to do the easy things. I can do easy things. Easy things are easy for me to do. I could just pick an easy thing and I can just do that. I'll just do that one easy thing, and then I can take a break if I need to. I can go do stuff that feels good. I can go take a walk while I'm doing this one thing. I feel better already thinking I can just do the easy thing. I just have to pick one thing to do. And you just start through that cycle of saying more and more positive things to yourself. And that can pattern interrupt that. But it starts with first being aware of you're feeling overwhelmed and you're thinking those overwhelming thoughts, and then consciously choosing to think different thoughts. Now, this week I had a very full schedule. Notice I didn't say busy. I had a full schedule. And I started every day with mantras, kind of like a rapid reframe, but I kind of preventatively started each day with, today's going to be a great day. I am going to prioritize and get those most important things done, and it's going to feel so good. I'm going to feel really good about my day today. I pre-framed my mindset around what kind of day I wanted to have. Now, how do you think my day would have gone if I woke up and said, oh my gosh, I have so much to do today and there's not enough time? It would not have gone as well. So mindset is a great place to start because it's kind of a fast and easy thing to do. Think different thoughts, get different results, match up different evidence. And so I really always recommend, like, let's start with some mindset things if you're stuck in the cycle. Now, we talked about you can feel overwhelmed when you're energetically drained. And so a strategy, and all my clients know this, I almost insist that they invest in self-care, that their self-care is an essential piece of running a successful business and having a successful life. So can you agree that on the day you didn't sleep well, that you handle life a little less well than the day that you slept well? Sleep being one of the key factors of replenishment. If you are struggling with your health and how you're feeling and your energy level, like, working with somebody who can help you replenish that. Julie, who's here today, she shared that she was having some overwhelm and she went and got a massage. So yes, This is your permission to book a massage appointment if you need it to replenish your energy. Because when we are energetically in a higher place, we have the capacity to handle so much more, so much easier. And guess what? We're able to see solutions. We're able to make connections. We're able to actually draw in the people who can support and help us. So taking time to get good sleep, good nutrition, to just take time to recharge your battery, not even like once a week on the weekend, but every night, sometimes midday. How many people like take a midday break and a walk, and they walk away from their work and they recharge their energy? How much better is your afternoon because you choose to do that versus the days where you're like, I can't stop, I just got to push through. It's so much better for you and your productivity and efficiency when you take the time to work from a full battery. You don't let your phone get to dead. You plug it in when it's partway gone. Do it for yourself too. Take the time to recharge your batteries. You deserve it. And guess what? You are going to be better for everybody else in your life when you take the time to do that. Pruning. I grew up in Michigan. We had apple trees, and every year they prune the apple trees. Not because those branches are rotten or bad, but because the nutrients can't make great apples if there's too many branches. You cannot get great results if you're scattered all over the place. When you can kind of focus into a few areas, you're actually going to get better results, just like the orchard growing better apples, because they choose to cut back some of the limbs so that the energy can go into fewer places. Pareto's principle is an example of the power of pruning. So this principle states 20% of your effort is getting you 80% of your results. 20% of what you've chosen to do this week really got you 80% of your results. 80% of what you did this week really only got you 20% of your results. Not everything you do is important. And we like to think everything we do is important, but the reality is there are some things that just get you better results than others. So if you were to look at your efforts that you use to maybe market your business, 2 or 3 of those are probably what's bringing you most of your clients. And the other things might bring you some, but not as many. And so it allows us to really look at and prioritize things and to go, what things are really giving me the most bang for my time? And what things am I just doing because I feel like I should be doing them? Somebody told me I should be doing them. If I look at the list of the different things you could do to market, there are probably at least 70 things on that list. But for you, there's probably a couple that work best. I went through a week ago, I was required to track every minute of my workday and what I did during that time. And I thought I was pretty efficient in how I used my time. And I found 4 hours from that week that were things that I didn't even need to do, that I could just immediately quit doing. I just bought myself 4 hours of time because I applied the principle of pruning. Did that really matter? Did that really get me anywhere? No. Well, then I'm not going to do it anymore. So where in your business, if you really looked at it, are there just a couple actions that really give you the biggest success? A couple products or services that really give you the biggest impact or revenue? Because whenever you feel spread too thin, that is a perfect time to go, what needs to go away? What needs to stop? So I have had multiple times in my life, and many of you probably have too, where life circumstances required more of my time and attention, and I had to cut back on my business. I had a son who had epilepsy, who had to be hospitalized for brain surgery, and we were in the ICU for 6 weeks. And then he went through some mental health challenges, which required a daily check-in of where was he and did he need me to be in mom mode that day. That meant I really had to take a hard look at my business and go, what are the couple things that I can still do and manage my life? Because guess what? Like for me, family is one of my highest values. And so I'm going to put my business second, but I didn't want to shut it completely down, but I could prune it so that I could still have success, still create impact by doing less so that I had more time for the things that mattered more to me, especially in that moment. So where in your life can you start to look at what could be pruned back? Because there's a beauty in having white space in your schedule. You don't need to fill every minute of every day. I do not teach time blocking because I do not think it is appropriate to schedule every moment of your day. I think there is value in having that white space in your schedule where you just allow your creativity to exist and to see, like, what do I feel like doing during this time? Maybe I want to make a phone call. Maybe I want to go for a walk. So where can you prune things back? Because if 20% of your effort gives you 80% of your results, what could you do with 80% more time? What might you be able to contribute to just your well-being in your life if you had more time by getting rid of the things that matter less? So sometimes, this is the bonus piece, we're working on a project and life overwhelmed, everything's going well, we're not feeling overwhelmed, but we may have a project and we're like, oh, I keep avoiding it. Anybody ever avoid creating their website or revising their website or any of that kind of stuff? Maybe you put off, creating a new offer. Yes, guilty. That's because a lot of times traditional project planning is like, okay, make the list of the things you need to do and plot out when you're going to do them. And maybe you get started and your things are going well, but we all hit that task that we want to avoid, that we're just like, oh, that feels overwhelming. And so we stop and we start procrastinating. And so then we come to a halt and we don't finish other tasks. Well, the reality is most projects don't have to be completed in a specific order. We can kind of skip around. I know for some of you, order is important, but trust me, you can skip around. So this is a new way to organize your project. So imagine this is a giant whiteboard or a giant piece of poster board, which is what you'll want to create. And you're going to have a column for things that are done. And then you're going to have 4 circles. 1 marked easy, 1 marked doable, 1 marked hard, 1 marked potentially overwhelming. And you're going to get some little Post-it notes, littler than this, like those little tiny ones. And on each Post-it note, you're going to write a task related to completing that project. And you want to make it small, like a 30-minute task or less. So if it was, build your website, it's like, buy the URL, set up your hosting, like little things. And so you write down every task you can think of, and then you go through and you stick them on your board. Is that task easy for you? Is it doable for you? Does it feel hard to you? Or does it feel potentially overwhelming? Then you start blocking time on your schedule to work on your project. But each time you go to work on your project, you get to select. Is today a day that all I can handle is easy and I need some quick and fast wins? Then you pick an easy task. You pull one of the Post-it notes off your board and you do that. And when it's done, you go put it in the done column. And then you just start working through things. And as you get to some of the stuff that's hard or potentially overwhelming, you save those for days where you're energetically, you're charged up, you're excited about it. You've maybe said some mantras that got you excited about it. Or you get some help with those. You go, oh, that feels hard. You know who knows how to do that? So-and-so knows how to do that. I'm going to set up a time where we can meet and they can help me work on that. And so it allows you to create strategies around how to handle certain tasks. But as you're doing the easy and the doable ones, you're seeing your wins start to build up. You're seeing the progress being made. And so that way it gets you into momentum. And sometimes it's like, oh, I moved a hard task over there, or I moved an overwhelming task over there. Look at me, like I'm doing hard stuff. I'm doing things that I didn't think I could, because you're setting yourself up to be able to check in with your energy before you start doing things. So we've covered a lot of stuff here, and my time is up, and I could talk about this for hours. But what I did was I condensed all of this down with a bunch of different tools that'll help you into a guide that you can go get. Now, I know a few of you already have this guide, so you already have an email with the bonus guide in your inbox. So, but for those of you who don't have the Overcoming Overwhelm guide, everything I shared today in far more detail with tools to help you is in this guide. So you can go grab that at knowyoutogrowyu.com/overwhelm. And you'll also be able to have a link there for the bonus. And I'm going to have you save your questions for just a moment, because we're going to go into an area where we're going to do questions. So I'm going to ask you to just save those for a moment. I know a few of you have some questions, but this guide will have all those things. And I am so hopeful that you found one tip today that you can take into this next week if the overwhelm starts to bubble up, so that you can just clear that and move on and find ways to be productive and to be healthy and to share your gifts with the people that you are meant to help out there in the world. So thank you so much, Jenny and On Purpose Women, for having me here today. I have so enjoyed this, and I can't wait to have some questions when we switch back over to our networking group.
Thank you, Vicki. And if you could stop screen sharing. Yes. I want to ask everybody who's here with us on Zoom to unmute yourselves, and we're going to give Vicki a big round of loud shouting and applause for this amazing presentation that she just did. So unmute everybody. I don't want to be the only one shouting here. Y'all ready? Let's do some stuff here. Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you. You know, all the years I have been looking at acronyms, I have never heard that one for busy. That is so clever. I love that. And so many other things you said today were just new to me. So I so appreciate you and what you've done. So thank you so much. And as Vicki said, we're going to stop the Zoom in a minute, go back into our Zoom meeting, not stop the Zoom, stop the Facebook Live and go back into our Zoom meeting, and we'll take some questions. But I want to thank anyone who's watching this live or watching the replay on our YouTube channel. If you want to join us for one of our Zoom or in-person meetings, go to my website, opwgc.com. That is also in the text of this video, and you'll find out all about our community and the magazine. And again, Vicki's website is also in the text of this video, because you want to go get that gift. That's an amazing free gift. Thanks for watching, everyone.